Hello, Your Majesty, and welcome now to Shout Out Wednesday. Post a comment or ask a question at soulgarden.tv in the Leo viewing room. I'll do my best to answer or shout back 1 week later. Well, it's cloudy with a good chance of storm today, I'm afraid, for the royalty of the zodiac, the Leos. That's because the moon, which focuses our emotions, has now moved into your subconscious state of awareness. Now, your subconscious is the area of your awareness that stores all the spiritual junk in your trunk, what we call the weeds of your soul garden. These are the issues that wrap themselves around your life, choking the life out of you, preventing you from growing nice flowers and fruit. And they usually come down to bad habits, habits that we continued that our parents introduced to us. Either they introduced us to us and we continued them, or they introduced us to them and then we created counter habits that turned into weeds later. So you are emotionally more present with the past, if that makes sense. You're emotionally more in tune with the past than you are the present in the next 48 hours. And that's the point of this, Your Majesty. You want to make conscious your subconscious emotions so you can nip those weeds in the bud, or in the root structure, I should say, so to speak, so that they can't sabotage your life. Now, the moon is the ruling planet of the day, so if you are harboring something underneath the seams, it'll probably be hard to stay on top of it because emotions are getting all the vibration from the solar system. But there are many other triggers going on, too, that I want to underline. One is, of course, the sun in Aries. This month, you are re-exploring what your beliefs and philosophies about life should be. So if your moon runs super off in one direction today, that may be that you need a new philosophy or approach in order to deal with it. The other is the Mars-Saturn opposition I talked about yesterday. Well, Mars is going to definitely be triggering everyone on the planet today. Mars is in the house of trust and intimacy and sex for Leo, so something around trust and intimacy may be the trigger, some sort of action or failure for action, or someone you will find did betray you, or maybe you betrayed someone or betrayed yourself, but some action around trust and intimacy definitely could set off a fire today for the Leos. And don't forget, it's not just about trust. That Saturn retrograde in Virgo means you must balance it with maintaining soul capital, valuing yourself, and in some cases, of some of you, valuing others. Then finally, for our shout out, actually goes to Steve, who's a Leo, and asks a question about his natal chart. He's got Saturn, Jupiter conjunct in the second. Jupiter has just come off of that, and Jupiter is now moving into his third house, and he wanted to know just roughly how will that affect him. Well, it sounds like this may be your second Jupiter return, Steve. Couldn't quite tell, but now that Jupiter's moved into the third, it's really all about fortune in your life. And remember, your natal chart is your multi-lifetime story. So now in the multi-lifetime story, it's time for Steve to expand his intellect, to remove prejudice, okay, and to also get the word out. Time to be a messenger if you feel like you are a messenger on the planet. And now that the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction has passed and Jupiter's crossed that, I would expect that you feel pretty valuable about yourself. You've worked through the soul capital issues, so whether or not you deserve to be the messenger should no longer be the question. Hope that helps. All right, that's all I have for today's shout-out. See you folks tomorrow with more. Live, love, be. Soul Garden.